Hello, everyone. Back with something that I think is quite possibly the future of goblins. What that is Fable the Mirror Breaker with Unlicensed Hearse. So last stream we tested Unlicensed Hearse. It was good in the games we drew it. Faced a lot of combo decks. We escaped with our lives going 50%. But the card, still looked quite impressive most of the time. Since then, I went on a bit of a testing spree, and also inspired by Solnox, who's been on the stream before. He went 4-2 at like the CFP 1.5K. So if you're watching Anurag's stream a while ago, that event, it was his. And he was playing Fable the Mirror Breaker Man. I think he had 3. Because he just wanted to, really put his cards through its paces. I have a list from a bit ago. You can see Black-Red Goblins number 70. 70 Fable 2. One with Snoop combo, 1 classic. And I just had it in the sideboard as kind of a one of. But I think the more I played it, and I've played it a lot now, I think this card is actually super, super good. We're going shopping. Hey, Dodd. This card's really, really good, and actually provides the deck a pretty substantive power boost. Same with Hearse. Hearse is a bit more meta dependent, I think, because if Graveyard Synergy wasn't such a big part of Legacy, for whatever reason, wouldn't main deck it. But so many decks are abusing the graveyard in some facet that I think this is probably the most main deckable graveyard hate on an artifact ever printed. Is that an overstatement? I don't think it is. So I played I went really deep on Moto last weekend, and I played 65 matches in 3 days. I was just go to bed, or it was wake up, play Moto for hours, and just man, I still want to keep playing because this idea is just really stuck in my head. And then I took a break. I didn't play it all yesterday. It's okay, this is not. It's okay to do that on occasion, but I don't want to do that too often. Hi, Dynasty Vren 7. Been a long time since last game Magic. Gotcha. So the sideboard I like. I found the Chain Whirler to be very effective with the Fable. I think there's a line that I'm gonna try to look for when we play this league. In that if you play a Fable, the next turn you loot, or Rummage rather, and then cast a Matron. You Matron for a Haste Lord. The idea is that you give the Kiki flips, and then you give it Haste, and then you copy Matron again. We already let Twin Shot Sniper go. Yes, but more because it's not Twin Shot is not playable. It's just the meta isn't right for it. If there's a lot more kind of bug decks, more Engineers, more Monastery Ministers, more Stone Forges, is when Twin Shot will really shine. But there just isn't that much, and I think a kind of an aspect of this deck that I really like of this build is that every card in the deck is additive. So you also notice there's no Jump Hum Incinerator, which I think it might be wrong to have no Jump Hum Incinerator. You definitely get punished. But I think something I really like about this build is that every single way you can spend mana, aside from the one Rashad import, adds something to the board. You're never just kind of keeping parity or keep pulling up on cards in hand. You're actually putting stuff on the table, which is important because it means that your cards like Pile Driver, Chieftain, Fable, Sling Gang, Trashmaster, these cards all get better just by doing that. Just be more. As far as the sideboard goes, I've been pretty happy with the sideboard. I think the one questionable thing is if you see a little bit less Delver, I think you cast an Edict, play a Chalice or Second Surgical, something for Reanimator or something for like 8-cast or something. Else isn't cross coverage, but it's not great against Reanimator by any stretch of the imagination. So I've tried multiple lists. I've tried some with Vial and some with Chromox to see, you know, what is better at enabling Fable, a better deck. I think the Vial version is a little bit better. Part of that is the fact that when you play a Chromox, it actually like pulls cards out of your hands as well, right? Because you have to imprint something. So rummaging becomes more difficult if you have fewer cards. Whereas Vial isn't hard disadvantage. You know, playing a turn 1 Vial doesn't put you down on a second resource in the hand that you wouldn't be able to rummage away otherwise. Over here, we're gonna run a league. Got my Island Park, Wallfather. Away there. All right, match found. Okay. I put against this person this weekend. They're on Colorless Cloud Post last. Hi, Grok. They did beat me. It's pretty good. Cavern for a Chalice. They had they could play like a Golos on turn 2 though. Awkward. No turn 1 play. Interesting. Be a Thought-Knot Seer. This is like Eldrazi Post, like old Eldrazi Post. Like you don't see any more Eldrazi Post. Our hand is kind of soft to a Thought-Knot Seer. Okay, that's a lot of damage they're gonna take themselves. I take Trash Master. Might also take Matron. My hand's all 4 drops if they take Matron. But we do have 2 Ancient Tombs ourselves. Rashad Import would also be good. Crater Maker, probably your best draw. Take the Sling Gang. Interesting. Second Thought-Knot then? Annoying. Turn 3 Ugin seems good. I guess they took the Sling Gang because they're at 12. Goblin Lackey doing Goblin Lackey thing. Second Matron. They can blast on our Lackey. Ugin's going to be a bit of a problem. Might just have to get Crater Maker for that. Their life loss is really going to add up, though. I think I want to kill the Ugin as soon as possible because they're forced to tap these tombs a lot. Then their life gets a lot harder. Okay, there's a Cloud Post. They do have main deck All is Dust. That's how they beat me first time. There's Karn. They can just Liquid Metal for 0 mana. It's kind of stupid. This is kind of an obscene curve, honestly. But we didn't have any mana denial, and this is what happens when you're on the draw. Have any mana denial? So I'll draw a munitions expert to kill the Karn. Okay, I think we're just dead. Yeah, they can just. Actually in like a totally fine spot until they play the Karn. Oh, what Karn does. Just get Lattice. Maybe a Ballista. A little bit slow. I think, honestly, lost because they didn't have a 2-drop. Magus the Moon will be really good. Don't want. It could be okay. Kind of bad against Ugin. Pretty down to cut Vials. Oh, Hearse is actually worse than Vial. Pyrokinesis is like okay. We've only got one Crater Maker. Maybe I want Kinesis. I'm on the play though, so not too worried. This. So Hearse will be bad just because of not too many things entering the graveyard plus Karn. Bad. I don't. We could just play Matron or War Chief on turn 2. Maybe that's what this hand does. That's probably okay. If they have another like really silly hand, then we'll lose. But we've also got Wastelands and a port to draw towards. Magus. Magus probably doesn't win on the spot because of Grim Monolith. It'll still be good. Probably supposed to lead on Badlands. I don't know if they play Wasteland or not. Honest. Obnoxious. Extremely obnoxious, actually. It, like throws off our entire curve. You like never ever see this deck, so I'm like not entirely sure how I'm supposed to play against it anymore. There's our Ancient Tomb. So here's the question of, do we play around Thought-Knot Seer or not? Let's forget Mogwai Marshal. We can cast Muxus next turn. But that's really bad if my opponent does have Thought-Knot. Is that the only thing that matters? It might be the only thing. Otherwise, we could get Trash Master. We could just get Ringleader. They get they don't play Thought here, then we're probably just playing War Chief. Back for 3. And Muxus the next turn. Also on. List on too. Okay. Interesting. Really, I don't actually think I want to wasteland the Ancient Tombs. They're going to take a lot of damage. Sling it. It's not bad. I might wasteland. That lets them tap the tombs. Granted, it's only 1 mana instead of 2. Okay. So I can Muxus here. Yep, could. So it's. I think it's a question of do I want to get War Chief in play first, right? Mine's waste. Really thinking about Cage. Thought here is the more the concern of waiting, yeah. I have 2 Haste Lords in the deck. I could All Is Dust me with another Soul Land. Wow. Dead. Okay. Cool. Right. A lot of planeswalkers that make Edict awkward, but it's also appealing. Archnesis. This is one of the few matchups where Fury is better. Getting the walkers and clear 2/2 or something. I just don't know if I want to spend 2 mana. I think I'm fine with the 1. I think I mostly just want my draws to be pretty live. Don't even really hate Chain Whirler just as a creature that attacks pretty well. And it pings the planeswalkers. Probably wrong though. F7. This hand's really not the sort of hand you want on the draw, I think. We've got Kinesis for, well... I mean, Kinesis is not a great thought, not to your answer. Then you lose a lot of your hand. I think Edict's better for that reason. Spent Soul, thanks for the follow. Don't have a Wasteland, which is something I really want in the open. I want a Lackey or a Wasteland. This hand doesn't care about Chalice. Just something. It's Planeswalkers reasonably well. I'm gonna try it. Play the fetch in case of Spyglass. Okay. Nothing, huh? Okay. But no Karn. Much worse. Turn 2 Karn on the play is pretty good. Need to draw another fetch land. Lackey's okay. Because we can pyro a blocker. They might wish for a Ballista and kill the Lackey, but then I get to expert the Karn. Kind of okay. Yeah, kill Monolith, but how? You know, we've got 3 removal spells in our hand that kill Monolith. Fortunately, I can only get the Karn down to 1. Means we lose a land. We go Kinesis Monolith. That gives us the most options, because then we attack base, put in War Chief, and can either go Pile Driver, Lackey, or Expert. Build or put Karn to 1. Could Expert the Monolith, put in War Chief. Something like Ensnaring Bridge becomes a problem then. I guess they still have a bunch of cards in hand. That would actually be fine. Bit overexposed to a Wrath effect. I think it is Kinesis. And second Lackey is probably what I'm pitching. Could also be... no, if I'm going to lose a land, then the Fable is the worst card. I do kind of just want to go Lucky Pile Driver. I think I just put my hand on my table. 1, 2, 3. Ancient Tomb. All's Dust will probably kill me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sudden Edict will fuck them up if they play a Walking Ballista and they wait. Like if they tutor Ballista here, Ballista for 2. Coding. Driver? Wasteland. Hit him really hard. Go to 2. Karn. Should have played the land first. They say, I don't know. And Cloud Post. Can't use Tomb. Nice. Nice. That was scary. Cloud Post, Mono Green Cloud Post is one of Goblins' best matchups, but this version with the monoliths has always been significantly scarier because of, I mean, also Karn. Karn's a big one. On that here, all the Planeswalkers, it's just like much harder to attack them down. And they're fast enough that you can't wasteland them as aggressively. You have to develop more of a clock. Green Post, has crop rotation and stuff like that, but One wasteland through 3 games. No, we saw a game. We saw a wasteland in game 2, but we didn't use it. We killed them instead. Saving this up for paper, whatever, and Grenzo wasn't bugged. I think so. I'm not sure what I would actually cut though. I do think Grenzo fits this list quite well. Maybe the third pile driver, but it's really like pile driver. Games like that, right? You know, pile driver dealt so much damage. Stir. Okay. A pretty classic Goblin's hand. Yeah. And they did have a very good hand game one. But I mean, I also think that's what that deck is built to do, and it's not, you know, super outside of normalcy. Okay. Been Ringleader. I get the feeling this is a combo deck, so we're just gonna play Pile Driver. Ashmaster, bottom to Hearse and a Vial. I'm gonna avoid taking damage just in case it's Ant. And we should be able to kill next turn. Sling Gang. Not Ant. Basic Forest confirmed not had nauseam. What is this? 6. Five, 6, 7, 8. Sling Gang puts them very close to dead. It could be Aluren, yeah. This like has abrupt decay feelings. So I think I'm gonna get Sling Gang to force them to kill the lackey. Pile Driver hits. Do it next turn. I could also get Chieftain there. On the off chance that they don't have it. Like they don't. Okay. Okay. Is that lethal? No. Too short, but. Okay, so basic forest and swamp delta. Does give Aluren vibes. I think that's a reasonable call. Could be that Nick Fit list that keeps running around. So it's Aluren or Food Chain are both reasonable. Food Chain would be a little strange because I don't normally see black in Food Chain, so I think Aluren is the most likely thing. Aluren or Nick Fit? Trap work against Aluren? Yes. I'm gonna board in the Chain Whirler. We're in a Surgical and like 2 blasts. Put them in Ball Therapy. I don't want to overboard if I don't know what I'm facing. Surgical. There's a pretty high chance that they're an Uro deck, though maybe not with Hearse. Maybe I just leave in Hearse and I just don't bother with Surgical. Probably correct. It's probably a Plague Engineer deck. A Tremog War Marshal. A Lackey. No, we're feeling it's a combo control deck, or your combo deck. Probably don't want to shave Lackey. I usually shave a Vial against Aluren because you want very, very creature dense. Give a Trash Master. Probably fine. 4 or 5 color Loam's also on the rise then. Delta. Could be a Loam deck. Could be a Loam deck. Could be or keep Surgical, but Hearse is just as good basically. Because Aluren specifically, you want Pyrokinesis, but not against other... Well, actually, I kind of want against it as well, because they're playing Chain of Smoke. Red 1 Pyro. Don't love Tremere Ringleader. Obvious ship. Is a reluctant. Do I have Edict in my deck? I did not board an Edict. I can just get Mountain. Okay. Alright, looking more and more like Aluren. This Pyroblast is very important. Aluren generally not selling game. I don't want to show the Wasteland in case they think they, you know, play around Wasteland. Wastelanded. Classic Legacy experience. It's really... It's quite slow. Blasting him. Both because it's annoying and because it set my curve. I don't want to keep holding up blast. Fable. Fable's not bad. I guess Fable's another reason to take out Leovold. This could just be a bug value deck, like just not any combo. It's a little unlikely. I feel like those bug decks usually, they don't have great win conditions in those colors, so they usually have to play some sort of combo finish. Next turn. Well, we'll see if there is a next turn. We could just die here. I don't like that Moto keeps resizing my... Other Strix is fine. One Kinesis. Nice way to trade out some things. Happy with no edicts. Okay. They'll probably have another land if they're fetching dual there. Acid Stroke. Sure. See, like that's like it's like a 3-for-1. It's like a 3-for-1. For me. Like, he's kind of interesting. I force some trades here. Or Chief Ringleader. Lackey. Get in for 4. Trade out those guys. There's a Pile Driver. Pile driver hit 4, 2, 4, 6, 7. I take 9. I think with the second Haste Lord in my hand, down to do this. And I hold back my War Chief. So they have to kill the War Chief. So they have to block here, and they're incentivized to block here. Yeah. And then they have to kill War Chief. And then I get to go Chieftain Piledriver, Spirit kill you, likely. So they have the combo here. Plus they didn't get second, they didn't get like Bayou, so. I don't care about Plague Engineer for multiple reasons. Very good ring. Bought into Hearse, but that's cards. Would I rather get Force of Will? Probably, right? Crunch. Okay. We will never know if that was a learn or not. Okay. That's kind of cool. I mean, Fable ate a Assassin's Trophy and made a 2/2 that got blocked by Baleful Strix. That's like such good value right there. Like that's just insane. Opponent had to like wanted to main phase the Assassin's Trophy because of they don't want me to draw cards. Oh shit. Goblin Mirror. Oh wow, this hand. Okay. File driver. Oxus is like the most important card. File's really good. File driver's bad. Top tier analysis here. Steve is a Goblins player. Fuck. Right. Okay, that was a good draw. So actually. The munitions expert. Not sure. God, it's so tempting to not block, but you just lose. Almost click through blocks right there. That would have been bad. absolutely good, like, insane draw. This card's so good. Like, look at this wasteland. Look at this wasteland. Do anything. That's a little. For 1 mana short, we attack. That's unfortunate. So the wasteland actually really good, expectedly. I have to loot something here. I think it is the Muxus. I could loot both actually. We just loot both. Pretty feels bad. Okay. I shouldn't have played the Vial. They have Muxus, we die. This could be Food Chain. No, it's Wastelands. Oh, is this Mass Vandal to blow up my Saga? Double Twin Shot. That's weird. Okay. Just Goblins player shows in Discord. Or Chief. Okay. Okay, we're live. We're live. Awkward. Have a lot of 3s. Not as many 4s. You can take a Vial, but not take it down. Not bad at all. Just kill War Chief, I think. And I think I'm gonna let this lackey hit me. So there's Matron here. Didn't have anything last turn. If I keep this expert in play, I think I just win. Yeah, the key doesn't copy anything. Like, yeah, we have good draws, but fine. Coward. I think it is wrong. Coward. Yeah, there is something to be said of we're ahead just because of the vials. Wasn't it sort of a forced play, right? Like even if you don't have anything, don't you just make that attack? Whatever. It's not Food Chain. Wasteland and all this makes it. They know they're going to lose the second lackey. Now we can. was gonna stack for red, copy it. Yeah, okay, that was bad. Missed a copy. Probably doesn't matter. True X. Fortunately, you can't crew. Right, expert's back. Okay, so that stops him from attacking. It's time to hit with the hearse. Beep beep. Hold my land. Bluff something off the vial. So my opponent just definitely has 4 drops stuck in hand. On deck, Matron. Still takes it. Okay. Maybe they have Sling Gang then. Yeah, they've not been great. Fairness, our opponent hasn't been drawing very well either. They're expert. So you just need to draw any creature. Rate of attack. Not my preferred creature, but take it. Putting them to 1 or forcing a chump block does have value. Use 3 lackeys, so it's unlikely a lackey's coming off this file. Putting off fetches could be good. Got 4 drops stuck in their hand. Only drawn 1 fetch. I think I keep attacking. At 11's fine. Okay, no, I die to a haste creature. So do I haste 2/2? Xaxes. Right, 5. Yeah, 7. Okay. Four. Man. Should have kept the fucking Kiki. Ugh, of course. Of course. Of course, of course. I mean, Hearse did do a lot of damage to that game, but one short there. Could have kept it back to block, but then I don't know. I mean, this was our next card, so. Or in like one edict. Board out all the pile drivers. Our loot was really bad. I don't know. Whatever. If Mogwar Marshal for Lackey. We know weapons playing a lot of twin shots. It's really bad against like Vile into Mana Denial. Like absolutely can't beat it. Ancient Tomb. But losing that game feels pretty bad. I think the coward play cost me the game. Was really played scared. Okay, good against that one. Get a mountain here. Get wastelanded. I was okay draw if we don't land. Okay. Pay Echo or no, Paying Echo's not even good. Well, alright, I'm gonna get Pyrokinesis into next week. But if we draw a red source or a Skirk, business. Red source. Any land, really. Nothing. Alright. Pretty sure it can't lose from me. Chain Whirler pretty fucked up in the mirror. Yeah, just run it back. Wait, Tony. We're 2-0 so far. Beat Colorless Post and a bug deck of Unknown. Playing a Goblin Mirror. Okay, this hand's really good, except against Turn 1 Lackey, but you just can't mulligan this. No one. Oh, we've double expert. Oh my god. And a Haste Lord for a Fable. Everything's coming up Millhouse. A friend that follows you closely recommend. New Saga's so good, dude. So good. Oh, that's a very good draw. I don't want to get my Black Source ported. So, and I also don't want to get Wastelanded, so. why I'm playing Mountain, even though it does take me off of Expert this turn. It's hard to get punished for that. My opponent's kind of forced into passivity because of the threat of Lackey. They could have like a Kinesis, but... Question is... Oh, they missed a land drop. I think I can just play this. Saga's a staple in Goblins now? I think so. This card's just really up there on power level, and yeah, it doesn't hit off of Ringleader, but it makes your deck so much stronger. Yeah, I'll take 2. Oh. Alright, so the way that my opponent's playing, they 100% have a Pyrokinesis. Yeah, that should be. Okay. It goes on. Oh, I sequenced that poorly. I should have gone... I get to kill both things now. Okay, I think I just don't... I don't want to expose 2 2/2s at the same time, so I think next turn I'm actually going to go... So I took kind of 2 damage for no reason. Might be a twin shot here. If they twin shot, then I'll probably Violent Chieftain in response. Okay. Okay. Should not board in Surgical in the Goblin's Mirror. Just saying that. Just never, ever should do that. Literally, 0 mana, discard a card. Deal myself 2 damage. Look at my opponent's hand. Okay, well. Cool. They have cards, so Surgical is good. Yes. Surgical Extraction targets a card, so it's kind of good against cards. I mean, you can definitely imagine some Christmas Land scenarios where it's like, oh, my opponent's gonna matron for a thing that I've already killed once, and then I'm gonna Surgical the thing they matron for. It's like, no. It's not something you should be playing towards. I used to be really bad at the Goblin's Mirror. I also hate the Goblin's Mirror. It's so bad most of the time. It's not even like a random Goblin is definitely gonna be better than a Surgical. Like even the worst Goblin of the deck, which is Pile Driver, is definitely gonna be better than a Surgical. Pile Driver, Flex Lackey. So occasionally, in game 2, their Pile Driver was good, right? Hit me for 5 and Sling Gang killed me. I kind of flooded out and have the... Alright, so we're 3-0. Let's see if we can going. Isn't Goblins with the decks that Goblins is designed to beat? Yeah. Well, I don't have Gem Palm Incinerator, so I'm automatically down in the mirror. Okay. Okay. The sideboard doesn't upgrade your deck a lot. Yeah. It's like Kinesis, tech goblins like Whirler. Opposition Agent's really fucked up in the mirror. It's, like all their matrons not work and all of yours do. It's just like this card is really dumb. Like flash an opposition agent, response to Violent and Matron. My opponent just conceded. Uh-oh. Mono black's never a good sign. What variety of bullshit is about to happen to me? Rock, Pithing Needle. It's Dark Depths? No, wait. The fucking a black deck play against. Wait, this doesn't block. Right? This is Shadow? Yeah. Mono black Dark Depths. So if I put in Ringleader, I could get something to use my mana this turn. I can hit any 2 or any 3. Putting the Trashmaster is fine too, but I think Ringleader's got to be the play. Mighty Man, thanks for the 10 months. Much appreciated. Welcome back. This is going to be a pretty hefty hit next turn. Bottom to Hearse, again, which is a little sad. You do have to keep those in mind, imagine if we had one more card in hand. Creatures that can't block. Not the best. A black aggro. Lots. Sadly, nothing to put in with Lackey. So, if Hearse was a goblin, game would be over. Currently highly favorable, but go. X Mage Shark die. Yeah. You have ways to beat that, right? Actually, no, they're still dead, even if they make a 2020. Hilarious. Kind of funny that we haven't put anything in the graveyard for Voidwalker. They can make Goblin 6. So right now. Okay, so any removal spell kills them. Any haste Goblin kills. Oh, it's kind of funny that I'm like that. Sudden Edict seems very good. Chain Roller's probably. Imagine that they're probably not using the graveyard at all. Not really seeing the matchups for Hearse, which is not a combination of the card, but you know, how matchups are sometimes. Do I want Magus? Probably a Saga deck that makes either Opposition Agent or Magus appealing. Magus probably better because it also beats Dark Depths. Sea Cutting Vials. A lot of fucking drops though. And we saw multiple main deck Needles. Are they a Karn deck? Maybe. They often are. Both can use. Just don't want any artifacts. War Marshal's kind of bad if there's a Leyline or a Voidwalker in play. Fable because Goblin Settler, yeah. Everybody wants the sweetest thing to do with Goblin Settler, or with Fable, but the best thing to do with Fable is copy Goblin Matron. Or like Pile Driver and get the haste and kill them. Anything. What's the meta nowadays? Last place Planet of the Apes scenario all around. What's the Agent for? Agent's really good against elves, but Green White Depths is the main deck it's for, but also Storm decks, you know, cutting off the tutors and fetches. Board against D&T, board against any deck that has like a Matron, Recruit of the Guard equivalent. I boarded in a lot actually, quite good. I don't love this hand. It has an okay kind of idly curve, but like this hand doesn't top deck hot action. I mean, her deck is mostly action because of all the vials. Hand's really bad against Plague Engineer. Doesn't have a Wasteland. Dark Depths. Much better. Toss this back. Fetches are worse both because of damage and because of Opposition Agent. Just don't want fetches. This is going to be a Thoughtseize him. I have no deck if this deck plays him. Bob. Okay. Deck play Wasteland. Don't really know what's going on. R1 Dark Ritual Thoughtseize Bob. Okay, they are a Saga deck. Saga. They're Bob. Okay. Trade with Bob, I guess. So I kind of feel like I have to give them the Saga. I don't think I can afford to Wasteland here. I think I need to cast Ringleader next turn. Just gonna play Wasteland and pass, I think. Feels pretty bad. Okay, especially flip Dark Depths. Dark deck? Dark Depths. Yeah, I have to imagine they're Plague Engineer, right? Guess we're dead. Next mage. Color. The red sources for it, but it's gonna take him to play. Bob flips both parts of the combo. I guess this gets Wasteland. Or this Needles Wasteland. I don't think I have a draw here. I guess they named Croc is probably. Run Bob was pretty good. Thoughtseize Bob was pretty good. Sure. If we were able to clear their board, if we had like a Pyrokinesis and we'd be able to have Sudden Edict as a top. Okay, I'm not going to show them that one. They do look quite soft to Magus. Okay, Agent. Saga is like okay. I will just want. Pyrokinesis should be pretty good here. Doesn't look like they're playing a hit. Also had turn 1 Dark Ritual all the time. If they didn't have that, that'd be cool. I mean, this hand's answers for all their plans, but it's bad against the Thoughtseize. Just goes nowhere. Okay. I'm gonna play Badlands. It's a little riskier against Wasteland, but I don't think they're gonna Wasteland me. And if they do, you know, I want to be able to draw Tomb and just sign Magus. All right, Urberg is scary, so I'm just gonna port them. Because the 2 Tomb, then it's very good in this build, specific. Play Ritual. Okay. They're letting me draw Wasteland. Come on. Wasteland, fuck. That's so fucking dumb. This is so fucking dumb. F6 didn't. Careless. Okay. Well, that's oh, I clicked that. About as good of a hand as you can ask for, right? They had turn 1, they had Ritual every single game. And like a 3-card combo. Getting turn 2 through a port has to be extremely unlikely. They need Urborg. They need Urborg specifically to actually make that play. Report. Get a 6-outer there. It's familiar, but I don't remember what person plays. Turn 2 Pashlik, turn 3 Sling Gang. Kind of appealing, but we take 1,000,000 damage off of Tomb. Draw. Stellar, we just get absolutely obliterated. Try it. Interesting. And this could be high tide. Go a Wally. Show and tell is kind of on my radar. And it's not terrible against show and tell. The port plan becomes a little more interesting since we drew a wasteland, so they're forced to play out a dual land next turn. It'll also just be a blue control deck. Bit unlikely though. Fish or Stifle Nut. I don't think Fish. Could be a Stifle deck. It just feels like High Tide. I don't know why, but I'm just getting. Yeah, this has like mono blue Omni or High Tide. Okay, I guess I'll play. Oh, I should have got a Badlands. Probably should just played the Pashlik. Pressure. So, okay. Wow. Back to basic. Huh. Okay, I guess if I get Days Undoing, it's definitely my own fault. Totally thought it was combo, and that's why I was playing super passively. Cavern Souls? Like he's kind of interesting. It just, my opponent just did not look like a fair deck whatsoever. Hey, if you don't have Days Undoing, you could Hull Breach to block. Alright, well, guess we lose to not knowing what my opponent was doing whatsoever. Kind of lame. But that's a punishment for playing too passively. But Island just like screams combo deck. Just absolutely screams it. Yeah, I guess we just played our creatures on curve, they die. So it goes. Yeah. Okay, that shuts off this, which is annoying. Don't use it. I don't understand what's happening. They have a second Days Undoing. YOLO Muxus. Force, they force. Good expert, come on. Let's go. Go. So they have a Supreme Verdict? Like... Plow Muxus. Matron? What the fuck is going on? Literally not a single part of that game made sense. Paid actor, yeah, I bet. Just wow, okay. I like one Hearse because they sometimes play Snapcaster, and it's a creature that can't get wrathed. And seems fine. Draw Ancient 2. Expert's very good. This is actually the matchup where Mogwai Marshal shines the most. One damage to Planeswalkers. It would be relevant. It could, you know, help against like a Monastery Mentor. The problem is the triple red. You really want to hold up Pyroblast a lot in this matchup. So tapping you out of red can be kind of dicey. But could be reasonable. Also, I probably should have shaped a Wasteland. Well, shaping Wastelands. They do have to get it. Alpine Moon. Okay. Hydroblast. Still a 5-color land. No Hydroblast. Okay. Good talk. Turn 2. How do I make sure I don't lose? War Chief's the best recovery here. Of a Wrath effect. I have seen K return in the sideboard. Untap Plumage Concede. Just wanted to matron there. For Chief. K return. Should have flashed an expert. But... Second Cavern. Welcome to Force of Will. Oh, okay. I'll put my triggers on this deck. Okay. Mystify. Yep. All right. So we lost to mono black stuff. Depths, aggro thing. You know, goblins is generally not good against mono black stuff, especially if they involve dark ritual and dark. And then, wow, that was one of the stranger matches of Magic I have ever played. Okay. Well, we beat Colorless, Eldrazi Post, Bug Control Deck, Midrange deck, or Combo deck. Don't know. It probably was Aluren. Like 3 Baleful Strix, Double Wrist. Probably Aluren. Necroscope, thanks for the follow. Gobo Mirror, and Jeskai Undoing. We boarded out first a decent bit. I mean, I think it would have been good if the bug matchup had continued more, if my opponent had played an Ura. Hearse would have been one of our better draws. But Hearse is really mostly there to handle the Murktide Regents and the DRCs of the format, and splash damage and Uro decks. Elvish Reclaimer, like Green White Depths, shrinking Night Reliquary and Elvish Reclaimer has come up to me. Like it was actually really cool. It's like a person play. No. It was deal 2 damage to Reclaimer. They could have activated it to get Jury Step. Instead, they just like fetched 3/4, or no, they just activated and got like Flagstones or something, and then play Hearse, tap it, eat their 2 lands, and then it died. Do people still play K-Return? I see it as a one of in some Jeskai sideboards. Like I think Matt Vuk has K-Return in a sideboard. You heard one surgical Keck W. All right, Pingu, you did get me, but I also forgot how bridge worked. I feel like, I mean, Reanimator is going to be Reanimator, and I just accept that I will lose to Reanimator a lot. And adding one more Surgical isn't going to help that, and I don't want to play Leylines, so. And I can beat the other graveyard decks with Goblin-y thing. Part. Like I had turn 1 Hearse against Hogak. It was like exile 2 Bloodghasts on turn 1. It was pretty good. It was like Citrus a player. No, it was Faithless Looting. It bin 2 Bloodghasts. I think a lot of donate a lot of wins to utilize. Jeskai should get a free sub. One trap. There's a lot of people playing Ant while I was playing 2 traps. I feel like Trap's a little better than Surgical right now. I do think it's close. Surgical's okay versus Ant. It's okay. Trap's like... The thing about Ant is that the pressures of the matchup means they're... Unless their hand is just like the, you know, turn 1 duress to kill you, Goblins is good at putting enough of a clock on them that that trap is very live, because they're like slightly quiet. I'll just move closer to them. Thanks for telling me. You know, when you play like a turn 1 lackey and your deck that also plays some hate cards like Opposition Agent, then they're probably not playing around that, but they might think I'm a Chalice deck. They're usually inclined to go fast, unprotected, than slow, protected. So they're just like not inclined to play around Mindbrain Trap usually unless their hand is very good. And you can blast the cantrips, so they're not able to sculpt as well. So it's like, you know, Brainstorm, you blast the Brainstorm, like, okay, well, I'm just going to go for it now. You trap them. And plus, you know, there's people playing... I keep running into Ruby Storm. Ruby Storm's, you know, Surgical is garbage. Mindbrain Trap's insane. I think Trap is slightly better online right now, but I do agree it's close. I think I used to be on 2 Surgicals, 1 Trap with like some other stuff because Hearse made it so you don't need to board into, you don't even want to board in 2 Surgicals if you had them against like the Euro decks, because Hearse plus maybe 1 Surgical is plenty. There's so much Reanimator right now though. I just don't think adding 1 Surgical actually increases my win rate enough to you know, if I'm 30% against Reanimator, and my record against Reanimator hasn't been really better. It's been better than 30%. I haven't been keeping track, but I would guess it's more like 40, 35. I don't think moving up a Surgical bumps that into, you know, 50%, you know, right? -1 trap, +1 leyline. That'd actually be kind of sick. That would be kind of sick. It's not even the worst idea I've heard. Get him with the 1 of leyline. Waiting for a good green goblin to play Hierarch and Vial. Yeah, I don't know. I like being 2 colors again. I should tell you that. Yeah. Oh, when I get you with my 1 of leyline that you told me to put in my deck, that'll just be so good. Are we chest openers? Chest prices are bad for opening right now. EV's 240, selling's 254. Should sell these chests. Let's open 1. Open 1 for the stream. Oh, badge. Definitely time to sell. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm a filthy chest opener, so I've been opening all my chests just because I can't stop myself. It's like the one little bit of gambling that I allow myself to do. Okay, well, this list performed quite well. I think really got to show off Fable more than Hearse. Hearse was okay in the games he drew it, but we mostly bottomed it off of Ringleader. Yes, I'm afraid we are done. Classic. Is Hearse here to stay? If they ban Murktide Regent, I would. I'm. The card is so main deckable that I think even if they banned a Murktide region, I would be inclined to play one main deck. Probably not two, and two might be too many right now. Like I could see. I think you're always going to want two in your 76 or 75. I think the card's really, really strong. So, I mean, to put my money where my mouth is, or no, I don't have, but I bought four Hearses. I haven't bought Magic cards. I bought Fables and I bought Hearses and Sudden Edicts. Because Edict has been good. You know, I'm quite confident that Hearse will be a staple, and insofar as like as much Relic was like a 4 of 3 of staple in Goblin sideboards for like a really long time. I think Hearse is sort of like the power crept Relic. It's a way more main deckable card than Relic. So I think it's gonna be like a really solid card for your sideboard for until they make something better. Hearse is just really, really good. Fable, I also think is gonna be a staple. I mean, so many games. As an Extreme B, I mean, I'll put the bot on YouTube as soon as I can. Next stream, it's Thursday night. I usually stream once a week. I could stream a little bit more, but I don't know. It kind of depends on what I've got going on. Just saw Hearse and you did order through yesterday. Yeah, the cards. I mean, the fact it's showing up in a Delver sideboard, which is a really good sign for its power level. It's showing up in Moonstompy as a main deckable card. Well, kind of nice in Modern Patriarchs building. I feel like it's trying to do too many things, right? Fable, I don't know. Fable is one of these cards that it doesn't read that good, but and then you play it, it's like, wow, this card's really fucked up. And I think Fable is specifically not as good in Modern because it's especially powerful in the deck because of the Haste Lords. Right? The fact that you get to go Fable 2 turns later, flip it, give the Kiki Haste, copy something. Yeah, I think Fable's really good in Moonstompy though. Like the entire reason I tested Fable back months ago, about when Kamigawa came out, was I played against Moonstompy and they played turn 1 Fable, turn 2 attack, hardcast Fury, and then it was like copy Fury on turn 4. And I was just like, holy shit, that's ridiculous. This card's really silly. I was like, they loot away like a Chalice and a Trinisphere. You know, cards that they never ever want. So that deck getting card filtering is really, really big. So I think, you know, if we were to not metagame as hard for Delver, I think you would cut sudden or put a Hearse in the sideboard, cut a sudden, you put a Jump Palm here probably. But my Delver win rate has absolutely shot up since picking up Hearses. Like the combination of Hearse, Edict, Blast, and also Chain Whirler on the sideboard for you being Chain Whirler on the play and Pyrokinesis on the draw. I've actually been, you know, batting pretty high against Delver, whereas before it was just like, oh my god, every game you just feel like you have to get lucky to win. Just miserable. But this actually gives you some pretty significant angles of attack that they have to deal with, and you get to become quite lean. I've adjusted my strategy. I've actually what I'm doing is I'm actually cutting ringleaders against Delver and just trying to just become they're so Jundy now that they actually out Jund you. So the idea is actually cut your curve, word and sheep removal, and then these are grain either of these but not both. And then you actually just get to aggro them out and you aggressively wasteland them. How often did I crew it? Today, I played the mirror and I crewed it a couple times, hit for 6 a couple times, died to a sling gang, but I got to put my opponent to 1. And so if they'd drawn a fetch, they actually would have lost. Agent, not Post, though it is very good against Post, but it is against crop rotation Eldrazi Reclaimer decks. That is actually what it's for, is Green-White Depths, which is Goblins, is just a horrific matchup. But Fable has been huge. Fable is absolutely huge for that matchup. And Hearse is quite good as well. So that matchup is like maybe winnable now, and Opposition Agent's also really good, because that deck is like 16 tutors, right? It's Reclaimer, Knight, Crop Rotation, Green Sun Zenith. It's like 4 of all of those. If you have an Opposition Agent in play, their ability to control what they do is really low. So Agent's really insane against Green-White. And then most spell combo decks I boarded in, D&T, basically all the Vile decks you boarded in, because they are relying on tutors to some extent. And then Elves. Elves is another big one. I've gotten to Opposition Agent Natural Order more than once now, and it is sweet. And you could also board it in against... I'm kind of split on boarding it in against not Moonstompy, Acast. Just to shut off Saga searches. But if I was going to do that, maybe I'm just supposed to board in Magus. There wasn't before, but I think, boarding against 8-cast. I've decided I don't like, I've been liking Pyrokinesis less and less against them. So, and, they're kind of skating by on minimum blue sources. So I think Magus is probably reasonable, especially, so problem before was that Magus conflicted with getting black mana for Expert and Slingang, important cards in the matchup. Fable actually sidesteps that problem, because then you get treasures. Treasures solve that problem for you, which is actually a nice upgrade. It's like Fable, in a kind of indirect way, made Magus of the Moon a better and more consistently sideboardable card in Goblins, whereas before you had to be like careful about how you sided in your Blood Moons, because sometimes you'd screw yourself over. And that would happen against Green-White Depths as well. It's like you'd be like, hey, I play Magus, and they could like have like they get a Reclaimer in play, and that Reclaimer gets a Plains, and then they can cast Knight, and then it's like, oh, they needed to be able to kill this fucking Reclaimer, but my Munitions Expert was stuck in my hand. Fable solves that problem for you. So I could also, I don't want to play too many more 3-drops. This deck's already quite 3-drop dense, but I would not be surprised to play a third Fable, maybe in the sideboard, maybe in the main. Fable's really, really good. I'm just so happy with how this card plays. All right, with that, if anyone else has some more questions for me, by the way, I think I'm gonna do a Patreon sideboard guide for this list, because I've run it in this exact list probably 10 leagues. Oh yeah, splashing for Vandal could be reasonable. Cut a Mountain for Taiga, and probably cut with the second Edict is what you'd have to cut for a Vandal. I think that's totally reasonable. If you see a lot of Sagas, if you see a lot of D&T, Answers to Kaldra are important. But D&T hasn't been doing so well lately in the challenges, and so I think its popularity has quite declined. And Vandal's solid against 8-cast. Yeah, I think that's where I would. Oh, the other thing I just thought of, the reason I wanted to start playing Magus against 8-cast again was I saw some people were playing Wasteland in that sideboard in combination with Crucible of Worlds, and shutting off that game plan seems quite important. So I think I'm pretty solidly pro Magus against 8-cast now. Whereas before it was like, Okay. That's it for me. Any other questions? Message me on Discord. Sign up for the Patreon. I'm going to do a cyber guide for this. I got an article about Ringleader that just came out at the beginning of the month. I was quite happy with it. People thought it was interesting. Let's see what we can raid here. About Fury. Fury is just worse than Pyrokinesis. You could play a Fury over the Chain Whirler, but I value the suitability quite a bit. Have a good night, everyone. I'm going to raid Caleb here. Some sweet games tonight. Yeah, all right, I'll send you off to Caleb.